Well, this would make for quite the scene at the finish line. Running Magazine reports that a man in Mexico recorded himself as he poured white rum into sports drinks at a water station set up for participants at the Mexico City Marathon. According to reports, the man was intoxicated and spiked the drinks early one morning after leaving a nightclub. It is apparent in the video that he aimed to get the marathon runners drunk. The water station was located near the halfway point on the course, when runners would have covered more than 21 kilometers, and the consumption of undiluted alcohol combined with exertion could be dangerous. No runners drank the spiked drinks, since race volunteers who worked at the water station realized in time what had happened and dumped out the alcohol. A few days after the incident took place, the director of the Mexico City Institute of Sport, Javier Hidalgo Ponce, announced that police had identified the drink spiker, who will likely face prosecution for attempted poisoning. Ponce blamed the incident on the Mexico City mayor's office for allowing nightclubs to close so late. I mean, maybe you shouldn't leave dozens of open water cups exposed to the elements in the early morning? How about that?
You just know that this story will get turned into a sitcom. Narcity reports that a woman in Brazil reportedly gave birth to twins who were fathered by two different men. The extremely rare case happened in the town of Mineiros, according to the country's G1 Globo news outlet. The 19-year-old mother told the paper that she had sex with two men on the same day and that she ended up getting pregnant by both of them. According to the report, the woman thought one of the men was the father, so she had him and both of her boys take a DNA test. The results showed that the guy fathered one of her boys, but not the other. The woman then remembered that she had had sex with another man and called him to take the test, which was positive. This kind of occurrence is super rare, but there is a scientific word for it: heteropaternal superfecundation. Essentially, it can happen when a female body releases two eggs instead of one during a menstrual cycle, and the eggs get fertilized by sperm cells from two different people. The mom said that her twins have the same father listed on their birth certificate, and that he takes care of both of them. I guess that means he's okay with her sleeping with another dude on the same day. Good for him.
I guess, sorry, we're closed sign was just too easy. WFMZ 69 News reports that a pair of fast food employees tampered with train tracks because they wanted a slow night on their work shift. 34-year-old Ryan Boria worked at a Wendy's restaurant in Tilden Township, Pennsylvania. He was caught on surveillance putting a makeshift shunt onto the tracks. His co-conspirator and fellow Wendy's employee named Amy Shawner dropped Boria off at the tracks, and once he was done, he got back into the car with her, and off to work they went. The pair intended for the gate to malfunction so that they could somehow block traffic and prevent people from getting to Wendy's. But in reality, their device messed with the signal sensors, which meant the gates wouldn't have gone down when a train approached the crossing, and a crash could have happened. Tilden Township Police, Reading and Northern Railroad Police, and the FBI are all involved in the investigation. Frank Cataldi, with the Tilden Township Police Department, said that a search warrant of Boria's cell phone was being prepared, and if another motive could be determined, such as terrorism, Boria could be looking at 20 years in prison. Just imagine the dozens and dozens of people who would have gone without their Baconator that night.
I guess ladders weren't available? The Associated Press reports that according to Chinese state media, a man was found safe after he spent 2 days aloft in a hydrogen balloon after it became untethered and flew away while he was using it to harvest pine nuts from a tree. The man, identified only by his surname Hu, and a partner were collecting pine nuts in a forest park in northeastern China when they lost control and the balloon sailed off. The other person jumped to the ground and a search was launched for the escaped balloon and Hu. State broadcaster CCTV said rescuers were able to contact the man by cell phone the following morning and instructed him to slowly deflate the balloon to land safely. It took another day before he reached the ground about 200 miles away. Hu was in good health apart from a pain in his lower back, possibly from standing the entire time he was in the air, CCTV said. Pine nuts are found inside pine cones and are a frequent ingredient in dishes served in northeast China, formerly known as Manchuria. Look, I'm sure they're delicious, but hot air balloons to harvest nuts? The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Know what I mean?
I wonder if this job comes with performance bonuses. The NL Times reports that a phobia clinic in Amsterdam has open applications for an employee who is able to vomit on command. Kint Clinics in Amsterdam deals with people who have anxiety, phobias, or PTSD, according to its website. Its specialists treat phobias, such as fear of heights, aversion to needles, and claustrophobia, for example. The clinic also helps people overcome a fear of vomiting. It has put out a call for a part-time position in which a person will vomit on command to help the clinic's patients deal with their vomiting phobia. The new hire will replace a previous employee who retired. The new employee's job will consist of vomiting during a session with the patient to allow the patient to face their phobia. Psychologist Martia Krusch posted the call for an employee on Facebook. She told AT5 News, "I haven't had time to look at them all and answer them yet, but there are so many that it is almost impossible to oversee." Many applications shared with AT5 were enthusiastic in tone. One person wrote, "Now I can finally share my art. Vomit on command. If the clinic is still looking for people, I would like to register here." I'm curious how these people discovered that they even had such a unique and, I guess, lucrative talent.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. I mean, hey, my cat's gotta eat.